Okay, this is really annoying. This is irritating. So, my stupid camera will only take a video for 18 minutes. And then it cuts off. I don't know why, it just does. I only have 2 more cards and then basics to show you. So here's the other 2 cards in the basics. So you have my Cradle of Growth. For this deck I spent a bit more, went ahead and got the retro version. I just like it better than the MH2 frame for this card. You have my Hollow. As with Volra Stronghold, these are amazingly cheap now. About a year ago I sold one of these near mint for €150. Now you can get them played for €50. Low-hanging fruit. They go fantastic in any creature deck with green. Reserve list. So if you don't have any, I'd recommend going on to MKM, or if you're in the States, whatever site you use, and picking up 1 or 2. I'm just shocked at how far they've fallen and that nobody really seems to be picking them. Maybe because nobody really knows about them anymore. Something about the reserve list. So one of the main complaints is that it limits the game. It limits the game by cost. The argument is that new players cannot afford to play Commander at certain levels to optimize their decks because of some reserve list cards, because of the expense. Well, given that most Magic players, Wizards, I think it was Mark Rosewater said, the average amount of time a player is active in the game is 9 years. So this being 2023, 9 years ago was 2014. So anybody that came in the game in 2014 is highly likely that unless their group, their local play group, has older players, they don't know this exists. They just never see it. Or if they do, they automatically assume that it's really expensive and they dismiss it. And they keep going. And they just keep playing Commander with the cards of their era, have great games, and are happy. So all this nonsense that people need reserve list cards to play Commander, it's bullshit. You don't. I could take all the reserve list cards out of this deck, and it won't run as nice. It won't let me play some of these cards I've had for years, but I can still make it function. And in an equally powered pool, I can still have a great game. So I don't see that reserve list throttling EDH as a valid argument. Anyway, let's get to the basic lands so I can close this video and upload it. So I do have the Jund lands, but with this version of the deck, I decided I wanted something more calming and peaceful, something that changes the visual nature of the deck. Basic lands, because there are so many of them, and they kind of reinforce each other if you have the same art, like I always try to do. In fact, all of my decks that have any basics, each deck has the same art for any given basic. So it sets a tone, it sets a feel as you're playing. The Jund lands are just really aggressive. They're really aggressive, they're harsh, and I decided to change it up. So I chose the Rebecca Guay. I believe this is Commander 2017. So forests, these nice mountains, looks pretty peaceful. This quiet moonlit swamp. But as I said, I only have 35 lands in this deck, which is a bit of a risk. But given that I have so many mana dorks and 4 ramp spells, it should work. It should work out fine. I had a friend once, and invariably, by turn 5, turn 7, he'd have 8, 9 lands in play. He just ramped every turn for the first few turns. And one time he had to sell the deck, financial reasons, so he sold it to me, and I got to find out a secret. So this dude was only running 34 lands, that's it, 34, but every fetch card, everything that could find a land he could get his hands on was slammed in the deck. He had like 10 ramp spells in the deck. It was amazing, and it really changed the way I think about my decks, because before, by default, I was trying to put in 38, 39 lands, and he showed me another way. So this deck is really taking that other way. Alright, that's all I got. Let me upload it. Hope all of you enjoyed this overview of how I resurrected Karrthus, Tyrant of Jund.